First off, I want to make clear the only real way to make a headliner perfect is to replace it, but I'm going to give you our techniques and how we do it. Let's get started. As you know, we like to get right to it and make it happen, capping. Now, first off, we're going to take our contact glue, contact spray, headliner spray, and you take this little tip out right here. Do not take this out of the can, the spray nozzle, just take the tip out. Like that. You'll take an extremely sharp razor blade and you'll cut that tip right off the end. Just like that. And then you make sure you look in there that it's not collapsed. It looks good. Now you take your piece that you cut off and you press it back in. It presses in hard, but you'll get it. Now that that's in, let's get cracking on the next move. Now, we take our syringe, we buy these by the boatloads, and all you do is twist that out, pull this off a little bit, twist that out like that. You got to use this to get it out of there. You're going to take your syringe, put it on the end of your piece that you cut off, take your hot glue gun, hold it there, and put a little bead of glue right here. Hold it long enough to set up, and all you do is go all the way around it. Put it on heavy, smear it in, seal it up good. Do one side and just let that set. You can use any hot glue you have. All you're doing is sealing this to your nozzle. And the tip of your glue gun is always hot, so you can melt it like that to really blend it in. See how I do that? You're done and ready to go. All right, what I've done here is set up a mock roof interior ceiling for your viewing pleasure. This is a headliner, and as you can see, the foam is still on it. This is brand new, it's black. Your problem is the foam, as you already know, is stuck to the roof of the car, the cardboard. The material is all that's hanging down. Take your can of adhesive, put your cap back on it when you're not using it, and believe it or not, that will set for hours and not harden up in the needle. Now, other people use these little twist lock things. It's just another way that people put their headliner up. They're sick of it laying on their head. So they take and screw these up into it, and they work. This little situation we're doing right here, we've used this forever. I'm going to test it on the back wall back there so you can see what it does. See that? The key here is not using too much. If you have a darker headliner, it's not as big of a problem. If you have a lighter headliner, white or tan, and you put too much on, it will soak through. So all you do is make sure you have a towel with you, and you take your needle, go right up to the ceiling till it goes through, and just give it a shot. One shot. That's it. Because contact cement needs to have it on both sides to work, all you do is take the headliner and touch it up to it, and real quick like that. Now you see that there's glue on the headliner. See how that works? Because you're going to be doing this blind because you can't see what you're doing in there. Less than a 1 second shot. Then I'll take that, tap it up, and you want to do it quick. See how that glue's on there now? Better to do it when it's warm because it will set faster for you. If you get a phone call or something urgent comes up and you have to walk away from it, you can retreat it, do the same thing I just did, then let it set again. Usually about 5 minutes in 70-degree weather. After you spray it each time, make sure that you wipe the needle off. So say you've got an area like this right here that's sagging, maybe 1 foot by 1 foot area, you'll want to put about 10 sprays 2 or 3 inches apart. But every time you do it and you pull this back out, if there's any glue on the end of it, the needle, you want to wipe that off, because when you go to poke it through again, what will happen is it'll get on the interior of the cloth. We're going to let that set. We're going to put the cap back on. If you leave that cap on there, it clicks, you're good to go. You can test it. If I push this up here right now, just to see that glue? So I literally could push that up there right now. Okay, we're in a car right now that has a horrible headliner. It's all coming apart here. They've got thumbtacks all up in here. This whole headliner is going to be replaced in this car. It's not even worth savings, but here's a perfect example of a sagging headliner that you need to fix with our system here. We're going to treat it, let it dry a couple of minutes, and stick it back up there. Now always remember, when you spray it in and you touch it up to make sure it gets on the material, so you have it at the top and on the material, you do it fairly quickly, okay? Because depending on how warm it is, that glue will set pretty fast sometimes. And what I do is I just go like that, that, and that. We'll let that dry for a minute or two and then stick it back up there. Now if you have your hair dryer with you, you can bring your hair dryer in here after you treated that area. Do a small area at a time. Always working your way from where the least sag is at, which would be right here, and working your way that way. Take your hair dryer, just warm it up a little bit, blow it on there, and then all you got to do is go like this. And it'll stay up there. Wherever I glued it, it's going to stay. You'll get it down. All right, guys and gals, I wanted to share this with you. Now, if you're dealing with your headliner, like this one is right here, sagging in the front, there's the windshield right here. If you're dealing with that, as you can see how thin this is, there's no foam on it. When you don't have the foam attached to it, you will see the glue through it, but it will stay up there and will not come down again. Very simple way to do that. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to tell you how to do it. It's so simple, it's not funny. Okay, now, as I was saying, if you have it coming down at your windshield, like I just showed on the light tan colored headliner, where it was just cloth with no foam, all you do is, and again, all these tools will be in the show more of the video description.
Buscar en el show más de la descripción de video para todas las herramientas.
You take your wool dauber, Ziploc bag. Now we have our spray that we set up last night. This has been capped like this all night. Watch from the back wall. See that? Not clogged up at all. You just spray the dauber in the bag like that. Now you can use the dauber again if you rinse it out with lacquer thinner. Then all you do is take it on your loose material that's up by your windshield, pull it down a little bit, and you just wipe it here and wipe it here. That's all you got to do. Just wipe and dab. Let that set for a little bit, and then it'll stick right up there. That's simple. What we did last night, which you don't know that because the video all runs together, but this has been setting for at least 12 hours. And look at this. I only did a couple of spots here. Look how tight that is. And I'm pulling really hard. Let's put some weight on it so you can get an idea. We'll take this bottle of cologne right here, and we'll set it right in there. And it's holding it up. And again, if you're doing this on a vehicle that has just the cloth showing and the material is light, I'm just being straight up and honest with you, you will see the spots that you have sprayed. There's no way to get by that. If your material is dark, you won't see it. If your material still has the foam on it, you will not see it. But it's just on the light material that you'll see the spots where you sprayed it, just so you know, because the only real way to fix your headliner is to completely replace it. And there's no other way other than putting the pins in that I showed you right there. That's it. Ready to go. Glad you're here with us. Come back again. Take care, ladies and gentlemen.